That's already 5 million? 9 million! Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mortal Gaming. This is me again, Marvin, and we're now here for another video for Ragnarok Origin. And this time we're going to be talking about the High Priest. So let's start first with the builds. So there are mainly two builds with this guide, and I think more builds are out there, but these are the two main builds that we have experienced and we have been using for so long in Korea server, so I'm gonna lay it down for you guys. Okay, let's start with the full support priest. First and foremost, thank you so much to PA Evangelista or Yuri in the KR server for lending me his High Priest, the all-powerful priest in KR server. We are so lucky to have experienced this priest right now. So let's first start with the full support build, his main build right now. Before, the Yuri priest has been very famous for the Magnus high damage build, but right now it is still famous but for the full support. Okay, so full supports are very important in every part of the game, even on MVPs, because they really contribute in the top 1 rank for the MVP team rewards. Alright, so for the stats, if you're going to be concentrating on being a high priest, of course, you have to have, the first thing that you have is a sufficiently enough variable cast time reduction. So that means you need around 30 to 40 dexterity, and let it stay there because we're still level 70. We have low stat points to contribute to most of the stats that we need. And the next one is int, maybe around 70 to 80 or 80, and the rest would be vitality. Okay, so you need tankiness. As usual, the usual stat build of the full support of our priest, just carry it over in our high priest guide. And for the skills, let's go to the skills. We're just going to run through everything. Okay, 10 blessing, 5 increase agility, 10 heal, of course, 10 angelus, and you can transfer Holy Light to Kyrie Eleison because you won't be needing Kyrie Eleison in the High Priest stories, okay, or parties. Okay, so next for the priest skill tree, we have 4 on resurrection. Wait, this is not FS. Okay, this is Magnus Exorcism. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering and I'm kind of nervous because, you know, in a couple of minutes or hours we are going live in our veteran streaming, so please forgive me for this one. Anyway, so for the priest tree, we have resurrection, 4 on resu, 3 on recovery. Very important. You have to put this on auto, particularly on most of the party activities. Okay, 10 on sanctuary. This one doesn't have sanctuary. Let me explain. So at this part of the game, it's already on the end game level. They're already level 140s here. So there's little to none parties or people using sanctuary because they are now, you know, using the core that automatically drops a sanctuary when you heal a person. So right now I understand that we need sanctuary for continuous healing, extra survivability for our teammates, so it would be necessary at our gameplay at our current level. So we need 10 points on sanctuary, and at the same time, if you're battling for heal count on MVP, you still need sanctuary because sanctuary gives a lot of healing points on the healing count. Okay, so 10 on sanctuary, 10 on safety wall, 2 on aspersio, 1 on gloria, and 10 on imposition manus. Okay, so next, where do you put when you take away sanctuary at level 100s or 120? Where do you put the 10 skill points? That's the time that you can now put on 5 on Numa. Okay, so because Numa is really important in the later, even right now, it's very important, particularly for PvP. Number 1 is because there will be a lot of Assassin Cross that would be using Soul Destroyer against you or against other party members. So Numa is important. Second is also from Assassin's Cross, which is the Grim Tooth. Very menacing if you cannot handle it. Particularly, they're very hard to find, so it's a very good counter to Grim Tooth. And the next is, of course, snipers out there and possible, Magic Crusher builds, but they're going to be less popular right now. Then when the alchemist or the biochemist goes out, this is very important because this is the only thing that can counter them. On Whitesmith, it can also counter, Axe Termination. So this is very important on late game, particularly on PvP. So you can put 5 on Numa. Okay, so for our skill set on the High Priest, right now you have to prioritize Assumption. Now, the problem here is that sometimes you would be confused because sometimes you are going to be partied with a wizard or with wizards or fellow Magnus players, but you need this one for those types of gameplays. Suffragium helps a lot. And when I say a lot, 45% reduction is a lot. So if it depends, okay? It depends on a situation. If you are usually being partied or getting partied with wizards, high wizards, or fellow Magnus priests, then you would need Suffragium. But if you're usually partied with those types of physical damagers like snipers, or Assassin's Cross or Whitesmith, so Suffragium is not going to be needed. You would now focus on Assumption, okay? 10 on Assumption, 3 on Suffragium if you need it. Then next would be Meditation, okay? Meditation increases your heal, so it is very important, okay? Aside from max SP or SP recovery, it increases your heal, so you need Meditation. And then next would be Lex Divina or Lex Eterna or even Basilica, particularly on the higher level Helheim dungeons that we will be getting, okay? So aside from that, I think you can put wherever you want the remaining stats, okay? So for the gears, we'll be starting with the weapon. The weapon of the High Priest is still going to be Dea Staff. So a lot of people are asking which one is better, the Crow's Staff, or the Dea Staff, and I would tell you that the Crow's Staff, this one, is going to be very good on early game, okay? Because this one increases your healing by percentage, okay? While as you will be comparing with Dea Staff, Dea Staff just converts your magical attack into healing. So in early game, of course, your magical attack is not that high, but when you put and pump it out, it will be dedicated to the heal and your heal will be increasing. So in terms of long-term plays, of course, Dea Staff is going to be better, particularly if you're already around level 75 or up. Dea Staff is going to be better. Crow Staff is just there for early games. Now, for the cards, of course, this is the secret of most of the priests out there. A lot of people are, of course, you would be concentrating on magical attack, but this is going to be game-changing once you know this. Magic damage increases more your heal than magical attack. If you have a lot of magic damage percentage on your High Priest, then you would heal a lot. So regarding that, we still don't have magic damage increase in our weapon in terms of cards, so we have to be dealing with, BOA cards. But when the Glastheim patch gets released, we will be having the Sage Worm card, which increases your magic damage. So that is the one to go. You always have to go for the Sage Worm card. And when the Komodo patch gets into play, then your target now is going to be Clamshell. The Clamshell, or what we call here, Shellfish. This one. Okay, Shellfish card, it increases magical damage by 4%, magical attack and int by 15%, and that's really a lot. Next, for the enchants, of course, magic damage, okay? So don't be concentrating so much with variable cast time reduction. It should be magical attack, magic damage. Okay, the magical attack is just the name, but it increases magic damage. So that is the one to go. Or just simply magical attack percent. Okay, for the modification, of course, heal or sanctuary. And for the refine, you can increase the refine on your staff or your Dea staff next after you have plus 10 your holy stick, because as a full support player you still need to deal damage, and when dealing damage, of course, you need Magnus. So even if you are using Dea staff and your focus is on full support, you still need plus 10 on the holy stick. That would be your primary focus. Plus 10. Once you have reached plus 10, that's it. The next target of the holy stick is when you get to level 90, which is plus 15. So that would be good for now. You're gonna focus now on refining your Dea staff, because of course the increase in your damage of Magnus, even if you're if you're grinding, is really a lot. So because it stacks, so that skill damage increase also stacks in a way. So in terms of refining, you need Dea staff first. Next is going to be our, you need only one, which is immune shield. Okay, where is that? This one, because obviously it increases your performance in terms of heal, so you need this and a little bit of vitality. So for level 80s and above, it's still immune shield. The card, any card which adds HP in your arsenal, it's really good. Next target would be Tharafrog, or when the Glass Time patch comes, that would be the Arclus card. For the enchant, it's still going to be the same. It's either if you want to increase the magic damage reduction that your character takes, or any like vitality. Okay, so for the armor, of course, on level 70, we still don't have the armor that would be suitable for a full support, so we still go for the Eden Group uniform. Next, for level 80 armor, that's the time we go for the fixed gear for your full support, which is the Goiben's armor or Goiben's set. Okay, starting with the armor. Okay, so for level 90s and so on, it's still the one, because the HP, all of the set tankiness that it gives, it's going to be very much needed as a full support. Okay, for the cards, your target is going to be Argyop or Bathory, same Pasana or Dokebi, just for the same for every job that I will be discussing, because that is the slot of the cards wherein you reduce the damage that you take and survive the most. If you haven't, you can still go for Peko Peko or Savage card. Now next, enchants. For the enchants, it's still going to be Sharp Battle for the grind. Okay, for the modification, it's vitality and again incoming magic damage reduction. For the refine, it's just for resonance, same as others for resonance. For the garment, of course, for the garment in level 70, it's still going to be Eden Group Manchu, because the Eden Group set is the one that you're going to use. Next, level 80, it's now Goiben's. Okay, Goiben's Spolders. I think it's Spolders, right? Okay, Goiben's Spolders. And for level 90 and above, it's still the Goiben set. Now, for the cards, Jack card is going to be your main target, and the easiest one to get, Jack card is the one. Because, you know, fire property is very prominent in this game, so reduction on fire property is going to help you a lot. Next, it's going to be Isis card when you get to the Glass Time patch or the higher stage MVPs or higher level MVPs. A lot of shadow attacks will be coming to you, so Isis card will be coming in handy. And next would be Orc Baby or Raedric on PvP. Okay, next, for the enchants, it's going to be Benediction, Vitality. On level 90s, go for either Tranquility or Fortitude. Next, for the modification, it's still Vitality. And on level 80, you can go for Int or Dexterity. Now, for the refine, it's also for resonance. Now, for the level 70, it's going to be Life 3 Trunk Shoes. it's gonna add a lot of healing to your character. But for level 80, it's now going to be Goibens. And for the cards, and that's going to be 80 and above as usual, okay? For the cards, we have here Verit card. And for the enchant, we have Stone Skin, Vitality, or on level 90 plus or 80 plus, you go for Tranquility or Fortitude. For the modification, it's going to be Vitality. And for the Refine, it's also for Resonance. Now, let's go to the crucial part, which is the accessory that most people are having trouble with because they are confused why the Expert Ring is not working on their Magnus Exorcismus. So, and it doesn't, it really doesn't work or add that much value to other skills that your full support is going to be using. So, we are going to trash away our Expert Ring. You don't need Expert Ring. The thing that you would need now is the Spiritual Ring. The Spiritual Ring increases your int, your dexterity, your, what do you call this one? Your magical attack. So, it's gonna be perfect for your High Priest. And the secondary availment or the secondary choice would be earrings. Any that you would get first on 2 slot is going to be needed. Okay, so that's our recommendation for level 65 to 84. For level 85, of course, you're now going to be switching to Orleans if you get it. Okay, Orleans gloves. And for level 95, we have the Heavenly Bracelet. Where is it? Okay, this one is the Heavenly Bracelet. You can go for the set combo. What is the set combo? So, Heavenly Bracelet and the Pocket Watch. Because this one increases your magic damage. And what I have told you guys, magic damage increases highly your heal. So, the higher magic damage that you have, the higher heal that you get. So, Pencilier Size or the Heavenly Bracelet plus the Pocket Watch, okay, would be helping you towards that higher heal. And this one also reduces the common delay, but it's not that much of a value. The important thing here is that it increases your magic damage. Okay, so for the cards, the important thing here is Greatest General. Don't go for Mimic card, okay? Greatest General or Wraith card. So Wraith card is the end game for all of the accessories because you need magic damage for your character. For the enchant, it's the same with your Death Staff, magical attack or magic damage. Magical attack is the name, magic damage is what it increases. For the modification, we don't have modification. And for the refine, next to your weapon, your focus now is going to be your accessories. Okay? Let's now go to the Verus Cores. For the Verus Cores, this one has a very different translation, so it was really hard for me to explain all of this and to translate it as compared with the translation that we have in the global. But for the Verus Core, it's simply number 1, Radiant Boost for increased heal. Number 2, Healing Prism so that you could get that additional boost on your heal. And Healing Insignia so that your heal would land a mini sanctuary. Healing Aegis is very good for PvP and for MVPs because it decreases the damage that your party members take when you heal them. And the Holy Element Affinity because that's considerably an additional damage for your Aspersio. So that's very much needed, particularly on PvE parts or even on PvP. Sometimes Aspersio is going to be helping you. Okay? For the PvP, of course, you need the healing Aegis too. Next is the Vacuum Sonic Boom. Vacuum Sonic Boom is the one that would be making your Lex Divina AoE. And Radiance of Shrine so that you could heal while you are doing a Basilica. Very important for the future league matches. Okay, so let's now go to the Magnus build. For the Magnus build, in terms of stats, it's going to be the same with the stats of the Wizard. So more on dexterity, and then next would be the int. Okay, so just around level 70, we would be getting 80 dexterity and around 50 int. So go for that one, and by the time that you make both 99, both on 99, that's a time that you focus on vitality. Okay, so for the skills of the Magnus Priest, it's going to be the same on the Acolyte tree. For the Priest tree, it's going to be different. Just the same as my Magnus Priest build on my Priest guide. It's going to be the same set of stats that you put, and the only thing that would be different here when you're on Magnus is going to be the stats or the skills that you put on your High Priest. So on your High Priest, of course, you need Suffragium on the current stage of our global server. Right now, as you can see here, he doesn't have any Suffragium because the cast time now of the Magnus Priest here, or when you go to level 140, it's kind of instacast right now. But in our global server, you need it. So now you go for 3 Suffragium because we cannot achieve a instacast right now. So 3 on Suffragium, very important. Level 10 on Assumption if you want, because sometimes, you know, you're the Magnus build type of priest that also gets to be, you know, the only one in the party that is a priest. So you still have to, you know, support your party members. So Assumption is going to be needed there. Holy Word, okay? Holy Word is really the one that is going to increase your damage by a lot, because this one increases the damage of the holy property attacks that you deal, including Magnus Exorcismus. And next would be Judex. Judex is very important in a Magnus build. Why? Because the Magnus build, the thing here is that the Magnus build people takes a lot of time for them to recharge their Magnus Exorcismus skill, because the global skill cooldown cannot easily go down. So while it is on cooldown, you can actually cast Judex. So that adds to your DPS. So you can cast and put Magnus Exorcismus and Judex on your auto skills, so that when you cast Magnus Exorcismus, while it is on cooldown, you can continually add more damage by casting Judex. Okay? I would only suggest on putting that or doing that when you are sufficiently casting Magnus Exorcismus fast enough for you to have, you can deal more damage with Judex. But if you still need a lot of, high levels of Suffragium, or your casting is still very high, then I would not suggest Judex. Just go for Suffragium and use Suffragium after your Magnus Exorcismus, so you can actually help more team members, including yourself. Okay, so the Judex is going to be, for the late game. And after that, meditation, of course, in order for you to increase your max SP, so that your Pensalier's Thighs, or the accessory set that we will be equipping on level 95, would also increase your magic damage by a lot. Okay, so that is for the skills. Let's now go to the weapon and to the gears. For the gears of the Magnus Priest, as I've told you guys a while ago, Holistic is still the one to go. So Holistic all the way. For the cards, it's still going to be racial cards, element cards, and size cards. If you're wondering if those cards are gonna affect your performance, yes, the damage can be affected. So in terms of enchant, this time you're not going to be using the magical attack name special enchant. This time you're going to be searching for the magic. Okay, the magic special enchant, which reduces your variable cast time and fixed cast time by a lot. Okay, for the modification, if of course the damage on Magnus Exorcismus. For the refine, so of course the priority right now is +10. After +10, you can now stop and focus on your Dea staff if you also have that. So next is shield. For the shield, it's going to be different. It's going to be Exorcism Bible that goes along until level 100 plus. So Exorcism Bible is still the best. So in terms of cards, this one is the one that's gonna add tankiness. So HP is important. So same cards as the immune shield. So same cards. Next, for the enchant, same. Okay, for the refine priority, it's also same for resonance alone. Okay, so for the armor, it's going to be changed. Instead of Eden group uniform, you're now going to be using mage coat because you're now focused on your damage. So mage coat is a very important, and together with mana boots. Okay, so for level 80, that's going to be different. As the same as a wizard, you're now going to be using sprint mail. Sprint mail increases your magic damage by 10%, so that's a lot. So that's going to be the one to go. And also your variable cast time. So sprint mail is the best. So the sprint set, okay, that is until your level 130s. For the card, if you still don't have those purple cards, rocker card 2-star is going to be necessary. Or if you already have enough dexterity, you can go for savage card or peko peko card. But the long-term cards that is needed is still the same: Argyop, Bathory, Pasana, and Dokebi. Okay? For the enchant and for the modification, for the enchant, it's the same sharp battle. For the modification, it's now dexterity or incoming magic damage reduction. For the refine priority, it's also for resonance. Now, the accessory, for the accessory, it's still going to be the same. We cannot equip, where is that? We cannot equip the level 65 expert ring because it doesn't add up or it doesn't reduce your global skill cooldown on your Magnus Exorcismus. So now you go for spiritual ring and e-ring if you don't have, but this one is the way to go. 2 spiritual rings. For level 80, you have now same Orleans gloves. For level 95, same Heavenly Bracelet and Pocket Watch. So the card now is going to be Mimic, okay? Mimic, but still in the end game, you're going to be needing Wraith because you won't need reduction on your variable cast time when you have already increased your level to so high. So that's the time that you go for Wraith, but right now, Mimic is needed. For the enchant, it's the same as your weapon, Magic, because that reduces your variable cast time, okay? No modification, but for the refine, after your weapon, that's the time that you go for your accessories. For the garment, we have here hood, okay? And then, for level 80, you go for the sprint set, which is the rider insignia that goes together with our sprint set. And for the cards, now you will be needing Frildora card or Harlequin card in the late games. For the enchant, it's still going to be Benediction or Int if you have. For the modification, it's now Dexterity or Int. For the refine, it's also for resonance. For the boots, right now it's just mana boots on level 70. But when you go to level 80, it's still going to be the sprint shoes, which is included in the sprint set. Okay, for the cards, Verit card and Metal Scorpion in the future. For the enchant, it's either Stone Skin or any Vitality. Now for the modification, it's Dexterity and Int. For the refine, it's for resonance. Okay, so let's now go to the cores. For the cores, we will be having different cores. This is the difficult thing about, being a hybrid character if you want to go for Magnus and at the same time full support, because you need 2 sets of Verus Cores, and that is going to be a lot, okay? That's going to be hard. But if you have both, then it's good. In terms of the Verus Core, the first one thing that you want is the Exorcism prediction, so that you could decrease the cast time on your Exorcism and the global skill cooldown, because this is the only thing that reduces the global skill cooldown of your Magnus Exorcismus, okay? So Exorcism boost, so that you could increase the damage of your Magnus Exorcismus. Coprocessor activation is needed also because additional reduction on your cast time. Core overload, because you can stack the same with Magnus, same with gravitational field, you can stack Magnus. And last, blessing boost to further increase your int and dexterity so that it could help your casting and your damage. Now for PvP, now you would need Divine Spike so that you could also, you know, immobilize people who get caught in the Magnus Exorcismus in PvP. And number 2, some of the Verus Cores that you have, you can also go for that. Or if you have extra skills, skill points that you put on Lex Divina Core or Vacuum Sonic Boom, you can go for that too. But as of now, you need to focus on dealing more damage in PvP. So I would say that, you know, a full support performs better in PvP rather than a Magnus. But in terms of War of Imperium or Guild League matches, they're just about the same. Okay? So of course, what is our guide without a damage test? So this is what I am talking about, guys. Using both Magnus Exorcismus and Judex in your skill set. Okay, let's go. Let's try. Okay, look at that. 1.5M. Judex, and Magnus Exorcismus. Judex, Magnus Exorcismus. Holy shit! Look at that. Look at the damage of the Magnus Exorcismus and the Judex. Holy shit! Okay, look at that. Holy shit, look at this. I want to be a high priest! Considering that you can still heal. And the heal is 60k! And it still recovers after it! And Judex can crit? No. That's the that's the pet. Look at this! 1 million per tick. 1 million per tick, guys. Is that 1 million? No. I don't know. That's already 5 million? 9 million. And this is not even Magnus build. This is full support. He only uses this on MVPs and grinding. Well, anyway, that's it. Anyway, that's it. Thank you everybody for watching, and thank you again to Yuri RPA, Abing Evangelista, for lending me his character. Thank you everybody. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. If you happen to like this video, please do leave a like, share this to your friends, and click that bell notification button so you get notified every time I upload a new video, start a new stream, or a new content. That's it. See you again on the next video. Bye-bye! 'Cause now I found you.